Students, as we mentioned in the previous session, growth, reproduction, metabolism, cell organization, and consciousness are the distinguishing characters of living beings or living organisms. But in this session, we will discuss defining properties of living organisms. Means you can see the properties only in the living organisms, not in non-living organisms. That means if you see the character only in living organisms, that indicates a defining a property. Now you see metabolism is only seen in living organisms, not in non-living things. Non-living things do not undergo any chemical reactions. So here what we can say, non-living matters do not show metabolism, only shown by living organisms. So it is one of the defining property of living organisms. One more, cellular organization means living organisms having cellular structures, and these cellular structures helpful for several chemical activities. So we can call living organisms one more defining property is cellular organization, which is not seen in non-living things. Consciousness means what? Awareness about the surrounding. You can see this character only in living organisms, not in non-living things. So guys, metabolism, cell organization and consciousness only possible in living organisms, not in non-living things. So these three are called as defining properties of living organisms. Okay, one more thing that is very important, growth and reproduction. So when you come through these two things, we can say these two are taken as defining properties. No, cannot. Growth and reproduction cannot be taken as defining properties. Why, students? You see, growth is possible in living organisms, already we discussed, but in organisms it is internal. When you come through non-living things, they can also grow externally. Have you seen mountains or boulders or sand dunes? These are nothing but non-living things, and when certain things like soil or any other matters accumulate on these things, then what happens? These non-living things size is going to increase. Okay, that is we can say also grow. Size indicating what? Growth. So here increase of size of these mountains, boulders and sand dunes, that shows the growth of those non-living things. So growth is now taken as one of the defining property of living organisms. Means growth can be shown by both living and non-living things. When you come through reproduction, it is possible only in living organisms, but in some living organisms like mules, means this is the crossing of horse and donkey that makes mules. look like a donkey along with some characters of a horse, which is mainly used for carry loads in mountain areas. They do not reproduce. Sterile worker bees. Have you heard of honeybees? In that worker bees are there. They also do not reproduce. Means sterile. Never produce gametes. And important thing, one more, that is infertile human beings or human couples. Especially we can call couples. Have you heard of? In so many human couples, there is no children, or not possible to give birth to children. Why? Because they are infertile. In them, gametes are not produced. Otherwise, you may call they are not functional. So, guys, because of these reasons, reproduction is called as one of the defining property. No, it is also called as it is also taken as not a defining property of living organisms. So likewise, in this session, you understand growth and reproduction cannot be taken as defining properties, because in growth you can see living, non-living, both are growing, and in reproduction you can see all living organisms do not reproduce. Because of these two reasons, we cannot taken growth and reproduction as defining properties of living organisms. Understood, guys? We are taking here 5 different important characteristics of living organisms, and we are going to once again differentiate them according to their defining and misdefining properties.